Alright, YouTube and Fallout community. So, in today's video, I want to talk to you guys about the weapon mods that we have in Fallout 4 and some changes I'd like to see to them in the next Fallout, possibly Fallout 5. So, let's get right into it. Really quick before we actually get started, I want to clarify that there's nothing inherently wrong with the modding system and stuff in Fallout 4. It's like miles above what Fallout New Vegas ever hoped or wanted to be. It's great. It's a great addition to the series, but there are some improvements I'd like to see in the next Fallout. So, I just want to clarify that. So now let's get into it. My main complaint with the weapon modding system in Fallout 4 is that there's so many choices, but at the same time, there is not that many choices. We'll just do a 10mm pistol. We'll start with the receivers, okay? Now, obviously, you have a choice between if you want to do single-shot receivers or automatic to make your gun, obviously, automatic. Now, a gun being automatic reduces the damage by quite a bit, or if you choose the single-shot one, you'll get more damage out of it, but obviously, you fire less shots. So your only real choice there is between whether you want to be automatic or single shot. But in the end, you're always going to choose the very bottom ones, the very best ones. And really, all of this stuff up above it is kind of irrelevant. As long as you meet obviously the item requirements and you have the right perks, you're always going to choose the best ones. And this all is just kind of for show, really, when you think about it. I mean, maybe in the early stages of a playthrough, you're going to be using some of these smaller ones because you don't have access to the other ones. But in the end, this is all just for show. Next, let's move on to the barrel attachments. Now here we have a choice of 4 different barrels. We have the long barrel, the long light barrel, the long ported barrel, and the long light ported barrel. Now, obviously the long barrel extends your range. The long light barrel does the same thing, but it reduces weight by really not that much of an amount. And the long ported barrel, you don't have the reduction in weight, but you get reduction in recoil. And then the long light ported barrel is a combination of all of them. And that's where a lot of my problem lies with this game, is that pretty much every category for mods for a weapon, there's almost always a combination of all the things above it, and those all become irrelevant. You're always going to choose that one, and there's really no diversity in choices. Something to remedy it. I think the standalone long barrel attachment should have given you the most range out of all the options, because it is just that. It's only about the long barrel and giving you additional range. The long light barrel should have done, it should have given you less range than the regular long barrel, but you have the reduction in weight, and that's kind of makes up for that. The long ported barrel should have done something similar. It shouldn't have had as much range as the long barrel, and it should have, because you get the additional recoil. But then you have the long light barrel, which is a combination of all three of those, and to me, that's a bit of a problem, because I don't feel like I have any choice in this game, because why would you ever choose any of these three over this one when it offers the same thing all three of these do? Like, it's such an obvious choice, and it kind of sucks. Next, we'll move on to a quicker one, which is the grips. Now, there's only two options for this gun, which is the comfort grip and the sharpshooter's grip, but the thing is, they offer the exact same thing. The comfort grip has improved recoil and hipfire accuracy, and the sharpshooter's grip has better recoil and hipfire accuracy. Now, this, again, it's the same problem we've mentioned before, is that this one is just better than this one in every way, so obviously I'm going to choose this one. And what I would like to see is a little bit of diversity. Like, okay, they both offer better recoil and hipfire accuracy. So why can't one of them offer one and one of them offer the other? So say the comfort grip gives you improved hipfire accuracy, and the sharpshooter grip gives you better recoil. Like, give me a choice. Let me make the hard decision on my attachments that I want for my weapon. Don't make it easy for me. This is supposed to be, I know this is more of an FPS Fallout as opposed to an RPG, but it's still kind of an RPG. Like, let me make some decisions. Let me play the game how I want to. Don't walk me through the mod system and make me choose this one, because I'm going to, obviously. Now we have the magazine attachments, and this one's kind of baffling to me. You have the large magazine, which obviously gives you a better magazine. It holds more bullets, so you don't have to reload as often. And then you have the quick eject magazine, which allows you to reload faster, which this is something similar that a lot of Call of Duty, a lot of other first-person shooters have. And then, of course, you have the one that offers you both of them. Now, this one is crazy to me, because you could have just got rid of this, and I think this would have been perfect right here. If I had to choose between a bigger magazine or a faster reload, that's something, because this was more of a first-person shooter Fallout, this is something that would have kind of been a throwback to those first-person shooter games that don't offer this. Now, the newer Call of Duties and stuff, you have the option now to have multiple magazine attachments. Before, you'd have to choose between a bigger magazine or a faster reload, and now these days you can do both of them. So this kind of, I guess, was ahead of its time. It was already there. I don't know. But this is just something that I think they could have left out the large quick eject mag, and it would have been perfect, and I'd have nothing to say about it. Next, we have what I believe is where they actually offered some diversity, which is in the sights and the muzzle attachments. Now, this gun just has pretty much your standard sights. You have pretty much your iron sights, but you have the glowing things so that you can kind of track your targets a little better. Then you have the reflex sight, which is a pretty standard sight in first-person shooter games. And then you have the kind of zoomed-in sight that goes on mostly rifles, but they have them on the handguns in this game, which I think is pretty cool. Now, me personally, I always go for something like the reflex sight or a red dot sight or something. That's just my preferred thing. I like having my peripheral vision. I don't like being stuck in scopes. And I thought this was actually a pretty good choice. And then the muzzle attachments, you have like the reduced recoil stuff, or you have the suppressor, which I actually don't use a whole lot in this game because it's not really, I mean, it's a first-person shooter type game, but this isn't something like Call of Duty where you got to stay off the radar. And like, I never find myself using this in this game. I wish they'd add in more of a stealth-based system where this would actually be super effective. And then, of course, you have, like, other guns have, like, things you can put on the barrel. Like, you have, like, a chunk of metal for better bash damage. And then you also have, like, some guns can do, like, a combat knife instead of that, which is just a better version of that chunk of metal. It does more bash damage. Those are pretty cool. That actually offers some diversity, which I like. I would just like the suppressor to be a little bit better in the future. Now, obviously, the 10mm pistol isn't the best example to use in this video, but it was just a quick example. Now, if you use something like the pipe pistol or like a laser pistol, there's a lot more diversity with the attachments. You can turn those into automatic rifles if you want them to be, semi-automatic rifles, sniper rifles, keep them as pistols, make them semi-automatic pistols, make them automatic pistols. You know, there's a lot of diversity in other things, but all the same, I just wanted to use the 10mm pistol as an example because everything has pretty much the same attachments where it's like, you know, you get the bigger magazine, the faster reload, or the faster reload, bigger magazine. And pretty much to sum up the video, what I'm wanting in the future is a little more diversity in attachments. Don't just give me, you know, better versions of previous attachments. That's fine to some degree. Like, you know, have a bigger magazine. Well, here, let's add another magazine that's even bigger than that one. That's something I would like to see. And don't just combine previous attachments. That's just kind of like a cop-out for an attachment, you know, for a mod. It's just, well, we already offer these 2 or 3 attachments. Let's just make a mod where we have them all. And as we mentioned previously with the grip, like, handle attachments, why not have, you know, one give you the reduced recoil and one give you the improved hipfire accuracy? And we've referenced Call of Duty before, which might trigger some people, but that's just fine. But their series offers, you know, a quick draw handle where on pretty much every weapon where you can aim down sights faster. It seems like such an obvious mod to have for the guns in this game, and it seems pretty weird to me that they didn't offer that. And that'd be something I like to see. And with the magazines, we have the bigger magazine, the faster reload, the combination of both. Why not add more options like drum magazines? That way it's like, well, I can either get, you know, the combination of both of these, or I can sacrifice, you know, that faster reload for this really big magazine, have like drum magazines for a lot of them. We have like, there's plenty of big ass guns in this game that could have a drum magazine, and it just seems crazy to me to not have that. You know, you can even do it with the pistols. I know it sounds kind of weird, but if you played like Grand Theft Auto 5 anytime recently, they actually have like drum clips, drum magazines for a lot of their weapons for like pistols and shit. And if they can get away with it in a more modern game, I'm sure a game that's set super far into the future, it could make even more sense than it would in like a GTA 5. And lastly, something I would like more of is camos. Now that was on like if you go back on my channel far, I did a Fallout 4 wishlist video, and that was actually something I wanted, was some kind of camos just for cosmetics effects. And they actually did add that into the game. Now, I don't honestly remember off the top of my head if Far Harbor had any kind of paint jobs or anything for their weapons, but Nuka World did. With the different raider groups, you could change the paint job or whatever for the handmade rifle, the AK-47, and have their specific paint job, whichever one you wanted. And I don't believe it added any effects, but with the power armors, you can do different paint jobs. As long as every piece of the power armor has the same paint job on it, you get a bonus effect like added agility or strength or something like that. And that's something I'd like to see in the future, is more, for one, just paint jobs in general, not just for these specific ones, for this specific DLC. I'd like to see it kind of an overall thing. Maybe I just want to put like a regular camo on some kind of weapon or something. But if it added an effect too, that'd be kind of nice. That way we have a little more, again, more diversity, more options, so not everybody's doing the exact same thing. So to truly wrap up the video, what I'd like to see in the future is for them to kind of offer more mods, more options and everything. You can already pretty much improve every part of the gun, from the barrel to the handle to the scopes and all those things. Maybe just add more categories. I don't know what that could be. That's for them to decide. They're the game developers. But also like them to see, not combine all the mods into one super mod at the bottom of the list that just you're forced to use it because it gives you everything that all the other ones above it did. And make you have to choose between mods. Make only one mod on the list give you this certain effect, this reduced recoil or this improved hipfire accuracy, and make you have to choose between them. You gotta give up something to choose this one. You can't have it all. Make you have to choose, and I think that'd be perfect for the game. So I'd like to discuss this topic with you guys. So comment down below if you agreed with me, if you disagreed with me, if you have more ideas on how they can improve this. I always love talking Fallout with people. That's the entire reason why I have a Fallout-based channel, because I like to talk about this series, because it's my favorite series. If you want to enjoy the video, thumbs it up. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. Follow me on Twitter. Links to my social networks are in the description as well. Also, we have a Q&A coming up in a couple days. If you'd like to be featured in that, you can also leave a question below. I think I'm going to start saying that at the end of all my videos. That way more people are aware of the Q&A series, and we can get more questions and more people can get featured. Later, guys.